All right, all right. LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. And guys, I have Marion, the Belizean Bruiser Reneau right here live. Marion, how you doing this morning on the east, no,
It's
the west coast?
beautiful outside. I'm doing awesome.
Now, Marion, you got the shades on. I mean, are you trying to get a
Hello.
tan? Are you enjoying that sunlight? Hello,
Oh no.
can you hear me?
No, I'm yeah, I can hear you. You were kind of
Okay.
breaking up. Oh no, I'm just outside enjoying the weather right now because it's not 105, 10, 15 degrees outside. So I'm just enjoying the weather.
Okay, well, yeah, that's because it's morning time. But wait, it's gonna be hot as breath. It's gonna be hot as breath at about noon.
Usually about this time it's humid and hot already. So it is really nice. It's about 79 degrees outside and I'm going to soak it up right now.
Okay, y'all hear that? She gonna soak it up. She is soaking it up. All right. Well, that's good. Well, Marion, you in training. You're in training for your big fight versus Cat Alpha Cat Zingano. I mean,
Mhm.
how's the training going so far?
It's going great. We're pretty much winding down. We're getting down to the tail end of it. We're days away. So right now it's just maintaining, staying sharp, timing's on, and keeping that cardio up.
Yeah, yeah, and you got some pretty good cardio. You got a lot of good cardio. I mean, you done fought some good rounds. Um, Now tell me, how's the weight cutting? I mean, is the weight coming down pretty good?
I don't, yeah, the weight is doing really well. I don't do a huge cut. It's all about weight management for me. So that way I could be the most effective Marion. So I still train with heavier guys and my weight management is on point.
Okay. All right, so the weight management on point, I mean, but you can still enjoy the coffee. That's not gonna mess it up, right?
No, no, no. Add some sugar free creamer.
Yeah, yeah, because if you mess it up, I think Armando, he'll probably be a little upset, because I think he's in
Oh
charge of your nutrition, right?
hell no. But he thinks he is. He thinks he is. That guy, he does this. Okay, so I'll be eating something. Here he goes. What are
Uh,
you eating? I'm like, leave me alone. I got this. I got this. I'm in charge of my nutrition. But he is just always in my ear. Okay, don't step on the scale now because you know you're going to weigh all blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, let's tone it down, baby. Let's tone it down.
well, he's just trying to give you some motivational. That's all it is.
Well, I think too, he does the weight cut with me. So he knows what I go through. So he wants to make it as easy as possible for himself as well as for me.
That's a good husband. Man, that's a good husband because he could be sitting there eating a pizza, going to go get a burger or something and just eat
Don't
it right in your
applaud him
face.
yet. Do not applaud him yet. That boy still eats his pizza.
Really? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I ain't going to applaud him. I'm going to do what you say because this your interview. So, I just got to sit here and be quiet and say, yes, ma'am.
Just playing.
Well, that's good. So the weight cut is on point. Everything's on point. I mean, and you look like you are in one of the best moves ever. I mean, you look like mentally, and you and I, we both educators. We understand when people are just not in their right state of mind, and we understand that because I know you do dealing with high schoolers. You look like you just like, I mean, you like you ready to go right now.
You know what? I do feel good. I feel strong. I feel stronger than ever. I feel like my cardio is better than ever. I've had a really smart camp. I've had really great guys surrounding me and pushing me and keeping me humble, like keeping me humble to the max. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten beat up just so that I can go in the ring and beat someone else up. So I've had a really good camp. I feel really strong. I'm energized. I'm doing it smart. I'm eating. I'm not starving myself. So everything's, Lord willing, everything's going to turn out great.
Nah, you don't. You don't look like you drawn. You don't look like you in a camp. You look like you just enjoying life. It's really good. So now your sparring partners, you say they've been beating you up. What in the world have they been doing to you?
It's neutral. It's neutral.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it's purely mutual. So you can't
uh,
do.
you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Okay, there. Now I can hear you.
Oh, I see you.
So is
Yeah,
it
yeah, we're right there.
okay?
That's what I'm talking about. So the feel, hey, so do your sparring partners know how you got your name, or I bet you they know now, don't they?
It's mutual. Just trust me. The combat, the beating up is mutual. But they keep me sharp, and that's what I love about them. They're not my yes men, and they don't take any shortcuts for me
Mm,
because they know that this is only going to help me in the ring.
okay. All right. Well, and you got a lot of people right now, Marion, and I'm not changing on. You got a lot of people that roll with you, keep around MMA and boxing, Reggie the Tree, Guitar Babe 21. I mean, you got like
Right
this
on.
this whole little section of, MMA fans on this side. They pulling for boy. They are already here. They're pretty much like Marion. We pulling for you, Marion. I'm a big fan. Like wow, like
And I appreciate that. I don't sometimes I don't realize how far that extends out until someone actually reaches out to me and is like, "Hey, I'm from Minneapolis. I'm from New York. I'm from Washington." I'm like, "Wow, really? All the way over there?" So I appreciate it.
wow. The Belizean Bruiser guys. She appreciates it,
Mhm.
y'all. I mean, I think you guys, y'all need to be thinking right now. Look, guys, we got Marion Reneau. Like, we speaking to Marion Reneau right here, guys. How y'all
Silly.
gonna explain not being here? How are you gonna explain not being here live? You know? Okay, so your opponent, Alpha Cat Zingano. What do you think she does well?
um, she keeps coming. She keeps coming. She keeps coming. She's a very resilient fighter. She just keeps coming at you, no matter what you throw at her. So I think she does that really well. I do think she's an all around good fighter as well. I think, she has ground game, she has wrestling, she has some striking. So I think she's also a well rounded fighter as well.
Okay. Yeah, she's a well-rounded fighter. Now, let me ask you, people, Kat, like, I think she's on like a three-fight losing streak. I mean, is she still like a very dangerous opponent, even though she suffered some setbacks?
Of course, she has more to prove. I think any opponent at this stage in both of our careers is going to be dangerous. And so I take it likely. She has something to prove, obviously, coming off of those losses, and I have something to prove as well. So it's one of those do or dies. It's going to be one hell of a brawl, one hell of a mama fight in there.
Wow, a hell of a brawl. Hey, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. I mean, now compared to, her striking versus your striking, what do you think, how do you think you compare with her, in the stand-up department?
I feel like I'm faster, believe it or not. I might
Okay.
be 41 years old, but I do feel like I'm faster. I feel like my footwork is um, is more crisp than hers. I feel like I can use that to my advantage as well.
Yeah, okay, I believe you can too. But people don't know like the history of your speed because you were a heptathlete in college.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, for those of us that don't have a track and field background, could you kind of like give a brief explanation of the hep and why I'm so excited? Like when I always say Marion faster than most of her opponents.
The heptathlon is 7 events for females. It's covered over a 2 day period. It consists of the 100-meter hurdles, 200, 800 meters, shot put, javelin, high jump, and long jump. Mhm.
Wow. And you do that in the course of 2 days, right?
Yes.
Wow. Y'all, Marion was a beast in college. She's always been an athlete. But hey, could you also explain too, like with you having, still you probably got one of the lowest like experience ranks, but you've actually moved up, like, and you're actually getting better and better every year. But can you kind of break down like how your athleticism allows you to get into a sport, and then like in what 6, 7 years reach this level that you're on right now?
Okay. Say that question one more time because it kind of moved slow.
Okay.
So I heard the very end of it, but not the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I said like being a hep, could you explain? Because some people they get into MMA and they get in like really late, and you got in late, but you're successful. So I mean, how does your athleticism play into you being so successful on this level?
I actually think that me being a heptathlete prepared me right now for everything that I'm doing, as far as even being a full time teacher and an athlete. But you have to be you have to be on a certain level in all seven of those events. You have to be in order to compete with the best. And it in turn, I learned how to adapt to every event in the heptathlon. Same thing with MMA. It might be different, but the movements are similar. And I was able to adapt. So from boxing to Muay Thai to Jiu-Jitsu, my body was able to adapt rather quickly. Um, and it just came natural, to be honest with you. And it helped to know that in my Belize family, my dad's side of the family, there's boxers in Belize. My dad was raised around boxers. His uncle did boxing. In fact, his uncle used to spar with Muhammad Ali. My dad told me that story, and I had no idea. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Why didn't you tell me this sooner?" I was like, "I could use that, you know." But he was like, "Yeah, it was a big thing in Belize. Boxing was," and he's like, my aunts, everybody, they're like, she's got the it, she's got the blood in her. So I attribute that to that line. It's a history of boxing in our family. I didn't even know, I wasn't even aware of, but I loved it. I've loved it since an early age.
Oh, you got the blood, and it be your opponent's blood most of the time. That's what blood you got. You be cracking skulls. Oh, okay. Now here's a very good comment, Marion, and this is from a gentleman named Reggie the Tree, and I think you met him, or you spoke to him, or you spoke up. You I think something. I think either you or somebody. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was somebody else. But he said, Coach, please let her know that you are an inspiration to him. I've been very ill the past 3 to 4 years, and her integrity and perseverance has always given me hope to continue to fight. And he said, please tell
Ah,
her. So,
ah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Reggie. I appreciate it, and I hope you do so better. Keep up that fight. It's worth it. It's worth it.
man, keep up the fight, Reggie. I love it. I love it. Okay, and JMJ 22121 shout out in the super chat, and super chat is when people they donate money, and we give it to like up and coming fighters that's trying to pay for their gym training or just buy some food, because being on that level when you're not even collecting a payday, yeah. So whenever people donate, I put it into their PayPal, you know.
Oh, hey, I need to get on there and donate. I didn't know you were doing all that.
Yeah, that's what we
Help,
do.
help
That's
me in. Help
okay.
me
God bless
in.
you. God bless you. So I say super chat, like my man JMJ. He just put $2 in the super chat stream. You can see it. That's what I'm looking at right here. I'm
Oh, right
managing
on.
comments and questions so they can ask you. So hey,
Okay.
I've already thought it all out now.
Thank you.
Now, okay, Marion, have you? I mean, I know you don't look at stuff like this, but you know, I gotta ask you, like, how disappointed were you when you figured out that okay, I don't get Catlin Verrier this time, I get Kat Zingano, or oh, I'm sorry, or were you disappointed?
Well, the thing is, and this is how it was brought to me, she was injured at the time and she wasn't able to accept the fight until August, September. And I kind of wanted to get in the cage a little bit sooner. The only person, in the top 10 that would make sense would be Kat, obviously, because Pena just coming off of having a baby. We don't know what's going on with Durandamine, and Holly's fighting in the 145 division. So it was just like, it just kind of didn't make sense. So here they present Kat to me, and I'm like, let's run it. She's a big name. She is ranked one ahead of me. So here we are, both of us about to go in to fight in a couple of weeks. Shoot, in a couple of weeks. So
A couple of weeks, you
it's
said it.
countdown. Yeah.
I can't.
So it was just that there wasn't anybody else available. And Kat, she's fought Amanda Nunes and beat the tail lights out of her. Um, she's she fought Ronda Rousey. It didn't go her way, but she's fought two title contenders. Uh, so it's going to be a good fight.
Oh, it's gonna be a great fight. Now, Marion, I know you don't get too wrapped up in numbers and rankings, but
Mm-mm.
a guy like me does. And Marion, I'm sitting here. I got an axe to grind. And I just feel like taking a screwdriver and just screwing it into the back of the people that made the ranking system. Because
Okay, so I'll agree with you on that because I feel like those people who do the rankings should slap themselves. or have their mama slap them. Because I agree, it does not make sense the way they do the rankings. I'm looking at it like I am inching up one step back two, maybe I'll inch up one step back three, and and it's not just me, it's just other people who are in the rankings, and I'm just like they need to slap themselves. Like just look in the mirror and just whack, give them a good old whacking.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody need to get smacked, or you know, somebody got some biases going on. Now, I'm sitting here and I call it like I see it, and I'm like, okay. I started doing the math, because MMA math for some reason it just don't add up. But in the ranking system, oh, it do. Now I look at Marion. You on a win streak. I mean, you hadn't lost in what, almost 2 years, okay? Or what was it? Yeah, it's almost 2 years, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing off top of my dome, okay? So I know your career. You got all these wins, okay? Now you went in and you beat a BJJ expert in Talita Bernardo, okay? And she was still active when you fought her, so I don't even want to hear the excuse of people. Oh, well, she wasn't ready. No, black belt. And then you took her out of there, okay? Then you went in, okay, and then you completely just picked Sarah McMahon apart. You hit her with that clean right hand. You took her down and you put her in the triangle hold of death. And I tell people, I think Marion Reneau got one of the best triangle holds in MMA. Definitely on the women's side. It's not even lucrative for you to go to your back, because if Marion goes to her back, you probably gonna get submitted. But okay, that's good. That's good stuff. And now I'm not picking on Cat. I'm just saying that okay, we got 3 losses. I'm thinking Marion should be in the top five. I had already had it written down. Marion already know if she beats Sarah McMahon, she's in the top five. Well, these people turn me into a liar. I'm a liar now. Like,
Hey, you and Mondo both thought it should be that way, but he in the back of his head he even said they're not going to do it for you. They're not going to, and it's been the story of my life. And in all honesty, I have had to work harder to prove myself. So if that be the case, nothing changes. I just work harder to prove myself. That's it. I earn their respect 100% to where they cannot look away. They can't.
they can't look away, Marion. I mean, Sarah McMahon was definitely bigger than you. And then the way you just dictated the pace of the fight. Round one, it was a tough, rough round one. Then you made adjustments. I said, look, Mario making these adjustments. And then when you kind of got a little separation and you landed that right hand, pow. And then she tried to get up. She tried to fight back, but it was all she wrote. Because once that triangle hold gets slapped in, and I was telling my friends, we were sitting right here, watching the fight. And, I had a couple of my friends, of course, well, that Reneau girl, she going to lose. I said, okay. I said, I got it. Okay, I got it. I got $50. I said, I guarantee you Marion Reneau finished this girl. And this was in round one. Round two popped up. You finished, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Give me my $50. I got. But
Yeah, that was, and you know what? It was just me listening to my corner, especially my boxing coach. He's like, "It's gonna be there. Just trust in it. It's gonna be there." And I heard him. He's so calm in the corner. He was like, "Okay, you see it, okay," because I did a little feint and she moved in a certain way. He's like, "All right, we talked about that. We talked about that." And he's just talking, and I could hear him like he was the only one in the arena. He was the only person that I heard. And then he's like, "All right, ready to let it go, ready to let it go." And on cue, I let it go, and he's like, and he didn't, he doesn't get too excited in the corner. He just kind of stays calm to keep me calm. But it worked. I trusted in my coaches. I had a really good corner. I'm gonna have the same corner surrounding me, so I'm a very lucky girl.
yeah, man, yeah. Your corner, they just kept you calm. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really. You stay overly calm, and I'm like, yo, she's really calm. And and that's why I started thinking, Marion might end this girl, because it was in the back. I was looking at, just how you kept your composure, and it's really tough for fighters, when the first round don't go right. That's like it's already like a mental setback right there. Like you thinking about it, like God, dang,
Well, the
okay,
funny thing is, the whole time I'm in her side control, I'm like, okay, don't frame up because she has a really thick head and arm triangle, and she was trying to go for that. I was actually hoping she would mount because I know I could get out of mount faster, but she felt more comfortable in side control. But the whole time I'm in side control, I'm like, well, I bet everybody's freaking out right now. It's okay, mom. I'm fine. Her punches aren't hurting. Like, that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head the entire time she's on my side control. As soon as the bell rings and I go back to my corner, I look at him. I'm like, well, that round's up. And that was it. I was like, we knew that was going to happen. We knew the first round was going to be something similar to that. That was the worst case scenario. We didn't want that. We didn't want her in side control because of the wrestling pressure. So we got back and they're like, okay, that's all she could give you. That's it. She has nothing more. Go out there and break her, so to speak. So I didn't even think about the first round. And when I tell you about the heptathlon and how it prepared me, that's the same exact thing that I would have to do in heptathlon. Say I go and I do high jump, which was my worst event, and I had a bad high jump. I had to let that go and go to the next event and be prepared for it. So I do feel like the heptathlon prepared me for MMA, believe it or not, especially mentally.
See, all you guys, listen. Look, Marion just dropped a nugget. Okay, she dropped a nugget. I don't even know how you couldn't miss it. What you need to do, you need to go back, rewind it when you watch this in archive. She just taught you something. Look, she's taking experience from one experience that she endured in track and field, and she used it to her advantage in MMA, and she kept her composure, guys. Like any young fighter, that if you have a round that you feel like you lost, this is exactly what you do to actually bounce back into round two, to recreate your own situation. Man, that was a nugget. That's probably one of the biggest nuggets. That was good because most people like, yeah, well, I went in and I pushed my pace a little bit more. I threw a little bit more. I threw more leg kicks. I tried to go to the body. You were just like, no, nope. Okay, I got it. I got it. No worries.
Do over. I got two more rounds. Two more rounds. And so that's my mentality, especially going into each round. It's like that round was done, go into the next round and win it. That round is done, go into the next round and win it. And then hopefully you can get it finished. I don't like to go to the scorecards. I don't like it to go to the judges at any time. So anytime I can finish it, I will.
Of course, we know why. And we can give them a history lesson. I give them a short history lesson on why these fights should never go to the scorecard. I mean, we know that you completely just dominated Ashley Evans Smith. It's the truth. It's not me saying it. Okay, most of the MMA community thought you won that fight. Okay, I know because I did my research. A lot of even some pro fighters thought, man, Marion got robbed in that fight. Okay,
Yeah.
then we got Betchko Hale. Man, you gave that girl a concussion. Now I have to understand they didn't stop the fight. Now, in your opinion, why do you think they didn't stop that fight after she was clearly like, she was done, finished?
She was done. We're in Brazil, and I had a Brazilian ref. But believe it or not, I just believe that it in Brazil, if you're going to try and finish the fighter, they have to be knocked out, dead, unconscious, just like not moving for like 30 seconds before they'll stop the fight, or they have to tap out. But in all honesty, no matter what kind of abuse she was going to take because she was so popular over there, I don't think they were going to stop the fight. I mean, I'm I'm pretty sure they would have booed the rest, but I don't know. I have my reasons, but I do believe we're in Brazil, a Brazilian ref. I'm not going to stop
I can believe that too.
it.
I would
Hmm.
definitely believe that. I would say it first. Yeah, she over in Brazil. I mean, because and even in another fight when I know when Cachieta and Valentina was fighting over there in Brazil, boy, it almost took an act of God to stop. They didn't
Hmm.
stop that fight. They didn't want to stop it. So yeah, I get what you're saying. You gotta kill a Brazilian. You gotta have kill a girl
Yeah.
before they even think about stopping her.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I'm sorry that's a mishap because things would be a whole lot different. And we be talking about a title picture right now. Had it not been for the judges.
But I think in retrospect, everything had to happen for a reason because even after the Ashley Evans Smith fight, my name propelled up. After the Betch fight, my name propelled up. And I believe that those dots needed to be connected in order to propel my name up the way it's been going. I know it's not the way I might have foreseen it or anybody else, but I think that God has, I think He has a plan. I think it was meant for me to lose to Holly, so that she can beat Ronda Rousey and shake up the division. I just feel like the dots are not connected the way they need to be, but they're getting there. They are getting there.
And guys, this woman, you just entering your prime as a fighter, entering your prime, and you kept the thing of youth, and you hadn't taken a lot of punishment. You've been pretty much, you've just been on top of this whole thing, and people are seeing you in your prime. Like people are seeing like you're beating these people, and everybody's always bringing up, well, she's in her 40s or she's about to be 40. And it's still like you don't move like that. I mean, your movements are still fluid. Your reaction times are great. You know, and does it make you feel good, like when you go in there and you beat somebody that you wasn't supposed to beat on paper?
Well, if you remember after the Sarah fight, my reaction after that, that's how good it felt. That's how good it felt because obviously I was the underdog. Everybody was counting me out, and um, even those fake friends that you're surrounded by, you know who they are. You
Oh yeah.
you could feel them. They were counting you out, and so it just felt so good. And that's why I never scream like that after a fight, after a tournament, after anything, but I couldn't help it. It was every built up emotion that I had just let settle down, save it for the fight, save it for the fight. It came out. That's how good it felt.
Man, it was vindication. It was vindication of everybody who said no, everybody
Mm-hmm.
who picked against you. I was standing alone. Don't some of y'all try to join the bandwagon now. I see y'all in the comment thread. I'm not gonna expose y'all though. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I'm just playing. But I stood alone. I was like, I think Marion got this one. I believe she's gonna win. And I said, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. And boy, good grief. You know what? It just so do you actually think that was your greatest victory in MMA?
Mm, I feel like every victory leading up to this point has been my greatest victory. So since it was my last fight, at this point, yeah, that's my greatest victory. But I think every fight after tends to be my greatest victory because it propels me forward. And that's exactly what I'm looking for, to be propelled forward.
Amen, folks. I'm talking to the Belizean Bruiser. Guys, I'm talking to Marion Reneau. Do you guys realize who is sitting right there on the screen? Do y'all guys this woman definitely, she's going for a 10th win, okay? That's hard to do in MMA. That's real hard. In MMA, 10 wins or more, you're actually doing well. And you're definitely an experienced skilled fighter. Okay, so what do you think the result, okay? How is this fight going to end for you? Cuz we already know, okay, so I'm biased a little bit. Yeah, okay, well, maybe a lot. How is this fight gonna end for you?
See, and I always get asked that question, and I never project. It's something that I feel usually in the ring or the night before, but I don't project it now.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I don't like that juju. Even Mondo's like, he never asked me how do you feel like you're gonna win this fight. He never asked me that question. Even the closest people to me, they don't ask me that, and I don't mind being asked that, but I don't know. I have a clue in my head. I've had scenarios in my head. I've replayed bad position. I replayed good positions in my head. All I know is I'm coming out victorious.
Amen. Amen. You got people already in here predicting. You got people already in predicting how you gonna win. And shout out to Guitar Babe 21, Guitar Babe 21 in the super chat, $15. Okay, I'm telling you, all that's
Wow.
gonna add up. These fighters are gonna be thanking y'all. I'm telling, they're gonna love y'all to
Wow.
death. And I think we've given out four. We've given out four fighters super chat dollars since we started doing it. So yeah, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. Okay. Well, guys, Marion just said, look, she knows she's gonna be victorious. But that's the same thing you said when I asked you about Sarah McMahon. You was like, I just know I'm gonna be victorious. And then you came right out and just did it. You did it so peacefully too. But I just know I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this. Okay.
Mhm.
So what do you think, without giving off your game plan? What problems do you think that you're gonna bring to Cat Zingano?
Um, I think right now my mentality is a lot stronger than hers. I think I feel like I'm going to be stronger than her. Everybody's like, she's strong, she's strong. I feel like I'm going to be stronger than her. I feel like I'm going to be faster than her. I think that's going to be a problem for her.
So the speed is gonna kill her. Wow. Now, what about the ground game? I should have asked that.
I love the ground. I'm even wearing a jujitsu shirt. I love the ground. I never neglected. I never neglected in my camp. In fact, I probably over practice it um, to the point where Mondo's like, "Babe, you don't need to do it anymore." I'm like, "Let's do it again then." And he's like, "You're good." No, I'm not. Let's do it again. And I feel very confident on the ground, whether I'm on my back, whether I'm in mount or side control, or whether she's in my guard. I feel very confident on the ground. I'm not overly confident because I'm not stupid. I'm not foolish. But I am aware. I'm aware. So I really like the ground. And believe it or not, when I first got into MMA, this was my mentality. I don't need the ground game. I'm a stand up fighter. That was me. That was me. And then all of a sudden, I discovered the ground. I'm like, this world is amazing down here. So I really fell in love with the ground. I really did. And
No.
Uh huh.
Oh, at first I didn't even like the gi, but I really love the gi now. I love training in the gi. I think that's the best idea is to train in the gi, even for MMA fighters, because it has helped my grip so much. I have such a strong grip just because of working in the gi.
Wow. So the gi, so like when we and most people may not understand like what a gi is or why the gi is important or like what exactly is a gi and why is it important if you're
The
training?
best way to describe a gi, because everybody realizes it, it's like that karate uniform that everybody wears, but it's a lot more solid of a material. It's stronger. It's a different type of weave, and you can use the gi to choke. You can use the gi to control your opponents by grabbing a hold of the gi, um, and and believe it or not, just holding on to the gi for dear life, holding on to it, and they're trying to yank away, that strengthens up your grip over time. Just imagine like 10, 11 years of me working in the gi. You know what I mean? I think it has completely helped my grip.
Wow, I can believe it because when they get in that triangle hold, there's no getting out. They done. I mean, I've seen that time and time again, and I was even watching part of your fight. Well, I watched all the fight when you fought Holly, and you jump like you jump guard. I'm like, whoa. She jumped guard, and Holly Holm didn't want it because it was like, whoa. If I get to go to the ground with her, I might end up being submitted. So
Mm.
yeah, so you getting a little strong reputation as a person that'll submit you and choke the life out of you. I mean, wow. I mean, but it's really remarkable how well that you've just progressed over these years. Me just following you from your first fight that I ever watched, and then until now, looking at like all the different things that you do different. Like I even see doing things like you fainting, like changing levels, and you're actually using like a lot of like ring like IQ in there now. Like you're not just going in there fighting and throwing exchanging hands. You're actually setting up your shots. I mean, wow. I mean, how hard was it to get to that point to where you were disciplined enough to do those things needed instead of just going out there being a banger?
It's the smartest thing to do. And when you look at the best boxers, they took the least amount of damage. You know what I mean? They were smart in their game. They used their footwork, they used their sways, their feints, they used their head movement in order to have longevity in the sport. And it wasn't hard for me to want that when I realized I have goals that I want. I have places I want to be, and I want to make sure I get there. What do I need to do? And so learning the entire skill, the entire discipline of the sport was important to me.
Man, and you took the time to do it because it's a lot of fighters that won't do it. They won't take the time
And
to do
it's
this.
repetition. It's repetition. It's over and hours and hours of the same thing over and over till it sticks in your head. So it's something that we've worked on and we've been working on, and we haven't stopped even after, say a fight is over. I'll take about a week off to allow my body to heal. Then I'll go right back to training. It won't be as hard, but we'll pinpoint things, key areas that we need to work on, and we'll work them over and over and over again.
Okay, guys. Marion is dropping nugget after nugget. You know what? I think she need to charge y'all for each nugget. I mean, that's what she need to do because this is really good. And I've interviewed you before, but it's like, man, it's like, boy, you just dropping more gems in. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
guys, people are asking questions. Okay, you guys now we're gonna take this time, last few minutes. We ask Marion some questions. Okay, stuff that she can answer. Okay, we're not gonna ask her no simp questions. We're not don't ask no stupid simp. Don't say that. Okay, what I want ask her questions about, fighting or anything that has to do with her fight. So those are the questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The first question somebody asked, and this was from Good Try Babe 21.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "How long did it take you to get a black belt in BJJ?"
10 years. Just a little over 9 years, almost 10 years. And I was being consistent every single week. I never took a month off. I never took a week off. I was completely consistent. I was active. I was competitive. I did jujitsu tournaments. I traveled and did any and all seminars that I could just to grasp. But it took me a long time, but it was so worth it. It was so worth it.
Okay. It took her 10 years, guys. 10 years. And people always talk about BJJ this, BJJ that, but they don't realize what kind of work is involved in actually even getting a blue belt.
Hmm.
And especially if your instructor is very strict, then you may not ever get that black belt.
And Kleber Luciano, I have so much respect for him. He's my professor. Um, he's one of my professors. He's the one who gave me. That's who I'm under, Kleber Luciano.
Mm.
He doesn't just hand them out. He has to feel like he has complete faith in you. And when I talk to him, he's like, you know, he had more faith in me than I had in myself to be a black belt because I felt like I'm not ready. I'm not ready. He's like, you're ready, trust me, you're ready. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to enter into a tournament. And that year he gave me my black belt. I entered in Pan Ams, and I won Pan Ams as a black belt. And I had only been a black belt for a couple of months, and he was there the whole entire time rooting me on. He's like, I told you, you're ready. So it felt good. It felt good to do that and to represent Kleber Luciano Jiu Jitsu.
Okay. Litsiana Jiu Jitsu. Y'all, if you go there, expect to be learning for over 10 years. And it might not even take you 10 years, it might take you 15 years. I mean, just depends on the person. But guys, that's a lot of work.
Yep.
Most people won't do that. Okay, these are some really good questions coming in. Now, guys, we'll keep them down because I don't want to keep Marion too long because I know she got stuff to do. It's yeah, she married, got a son, and she gotta satisfy all these people. Okay. All right. Next question. Where does your energy come from? Balancing, teaching, MMA, mom. What do you attribute your motivation to? And this is by Mr. Chris Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez. I have no idea. I wake up and there are days that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go work out. But the more I get to it, the more I feel and look at my goal, I'm like, I have to go do that. Because if I'm not doing it, my opponent's making sure she's doing what she has to do to do it. So my motivation comes from what are my goals? Have I lost that? Have I lost that passion? Nope, I haven't lost it. So get going. Plus, I take the appropriate time to recover. I do rest. I do recover when I can. I take 20-minute power naps if I have to. Um, I drink lots of water. I eat right. Eating right. People don't understand eating right is so important, especially for energy. I don't do a lot of supplements. I get all my supplements from food. Um, I attribute my motivation sometimes from the people that I surround myself with. They're so eager to want to help me, and I'm so eager to learn that I have to go out there and not waste their time because I know my time is precious, so I know their time is just as precious. And I just keep going. I keep moving forward. Trust me, there are days when I wake up and I feel all of 41, but
Mm.
today is not that day.
Preach, preach. I feel like I'm sitting in church right now, at MMA church. Pastor Marion Reneau, right here. Preach it. Thank you. And please, and I always talk about the eating right. I always talk about the eating right, and because you eat so clean, people don't understand it's not a secret. You eat
Mhm.
clean, you know. I mean, you're gonna look how you eat. If you eat like crap, well, you're gonna look like crap. I mean, that's just how
Right.
it is, you know.
Oh, and you're gonna feel like crap as well. You know, when you eat like crap, your gut doesn't feel good, your mind doesn't feel good. It attributes to everything. You just have to balance yourself out. If you're gonna do it once every 2 months, not all the time. You don't deserve it all the time.
Yeah. If I showed you some of my athletes and we stood side by side, you would think that they're older than me. Like, it's just what the food been doing to them. It's the food, the fast foods, the
Yeah.
hamburger shops, the pizza, and all this stuff every day.
Oh yeah.
That stuff make you look old as dirt.
Yep.
God Almighty. Okay, we go to next. These are some good questions. Boy, y'all are asking some good questions. Y'all are lit today. That's what's up. Okay. All right. Question: Does it get annoying? Oh, this is from Evan Shamar. Okay, he's being good today. Does it get annoying or discouraging hearing analysts like Luke Thomas say that 30 is old for an MMA fighter? He said that. Okay.
No, he's that's not applies to me. And to be honest with you, I read something and I said, you know what, that's pretty deep. And I apply it. It is none of my business what people say about me or what they think about me. It's none of my business.
Mm.
What he just said, that's none of my business. That's his opinion. His opinion is none of my business. I'm not going to sit here and let it affect me. So, no, it doesn't get to me. It doesn't annoy me because it doesn't apply to me. I won't let it apply to me. He doesn't control my mind. He doesn't control my body. I'm overhearing trolls. I'm overhearing ignorant people. It's none of my business what you say.
Oh man, preach. Thank you. God, you know what? I needed this. I needed this right here, boy. Preach it. I'm. he,
Anything for you, coach.
he is not in her mind. That's right. And so whoever said that, I know you're looking at the screen. Hey, you're not in her mind. That's right. Preach. Everybody's saying preach. Marion, they are giving you so much love. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay, last two. Okay, last three questions, guys. That's it. Okay, no more because I don't want to keep. I could talk to Marion for an eternity because she dropped so many things, but she got better things to do now. She do. She really do.
I'm having a good morning enjoying this. I cleared this morning just for you because I knew it was going to take at least 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Well, we go cut it. We go cut it. We finna cut it here in a minute. Man, this was great. Okay. Okay. This one's easy. Okay. The last three. Are your students intimidated by you? Oh, good question.
I think at first, initially, so in the start of freshman season or freshman year, I think initially they're intimidated by me, but the more that they get to know me, the more they realize I'm a very outgoing person. I'm nice. I'm not as mean as they think I should be. And they warm up to me a little bit. I have good rapport with my students. I'm knocking on wood because I have a fresh new batch coming in. Um, but I have good rapport with my students. In fact, after my fight, there's one class that won a challenge. I told them I would meet them at a location in Farmersville, and I would buy them something to eat, because I told them I would. And so we'll all get together during the summertime, and it's pretty cool because when you develop a rapport with students, but you still maintain that professionalism. They respect you more. They know what to expect from you. They know that there's no gray area. It's black or white, especially with me.
Wow. Wow, man, incredible. Okay, super chat. Wildest moments. $50 in the super chat. Boy, y'all gonna make some fighters happy today. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Boy, these
I'm
jokers
gonna
finna
have
go.
to top that. I'm gonna have to top that $50 right there.
Marion says she gonna top it, y'all. Uh oh. Uh oh. Where the rest of you fighters at? How y'all gonna? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but thank you, Wildest Moments. Wildest Moments is a huge fan. She definitely. We've actually had we come on here and we do live discussions with women's MMA. We do podcasts, and we just
Mhm,
talk about the division as a whole. And yeah, and she gets in on a lot of. She's very technical. Like she knows like she can give you numbers like how many strikes you thrown around and stuff like that. Like she's like really non-emotional. So she'll just come in and just say, "Nope, this is what it is," and we'll be sitting here whining, "Nope, this is what it is." Nope, nope, nope. I disagree.
I
I
like
disagree.
that. I like that. Nice.
No nonsense. Wildest Moments is the best. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to that. That's gonna help. I'm trying to think who's the fighter. Well, it's some fighters getting it, so no worries. Um, Last question. Okay, last two. Somebody asked you, do you use karate or takedown in your training camp?
Not really karate. No, I am not familiar with that art. I'm pretty sure some of the kicks that I throw could be considered karate kicks, but not. I don't just hone in on that particular martial arts or discipline. And takedowns, yes, we work takedowns. In fact, we've been working the past 3 fight camps. Takedowns whenever we need them, they'll be there.
God, dog. Bad boy Perez. 99.99. God, dog. Super chat blowing up today, y'all. It's blowing up. Yo,
What did he put down? What did he do?
Bad boy Perez did $99 in the super chat. God, dog.
Jerk. Now I
Woo.
gotta top that. You
Dang.
better stop, babe. Stop.
And guys, y'all know who Bad Boy Perez is. That is Marion Reneau's husband. And he's also in the corner who keeps her calm. He is like very detrimental in the corner with her. So yeah, shout
I'm
out
gonna
to
have to
Bad Boy.
top his $99. He's doing that on purpose. I know he is.
And he's at work listening to this though. He's at work.
Yes, he is.
All right.
He's the boss, so he can get away with it.
Bad boy, that's the man. Okay, the last question, and this was asked by okay, let me see. Oh, Dennis Espinoza. He said, I'm trying to go back. That's why you see me looking down. I'm keeping up with the. It's a live stream. If we're on a live stream, I just be looking at you the whole time.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Do you think anyone in the top five in the women's featherweight class, will step up and fight your friend Chris Cyborg?
I foresee Holly fighting her again. I don't see Jermaine fighting her. I just don't. The way she relinquished her belt in order to not fight her, I don't see her doing that. But as far as anybody else in the top, I can see in the future Kat Zingano maybe trying to want to fight her, move up in weight class. But it's either Kat, I think, or Holly are the only two that I foresee wanting to do that. I don't think Raquel wants any business with 145 at all.
Mm-mm.
She's stuck in the 35 and she's happy there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy there. I wouldn't fight in the 45. That's not my natural weight class. I wouldn't be able to. They're just much bigger than me, much bigger. She's much bigger than me, so it wouldn't make any sense. Um, so I can see those two. That's a good question.
Yeah, cause you talking about people, they get down to 145, but they walking around at 175 and 180. Like nah, they naturally bigger people. So yeah, I'm like yeah, okay, honest, and
And I
and
don't walk around at that weight at all. My walk around weight is maybe 155. That's the max. And I hate being at 155. I hate it.
okay.
So that's pretty much my walk around weight. And I would not be able to walk around at 170. 170 on me would be like I'm the marshmallow man or something.
Oh yeah, you probably have 15 necks and 45 asses. I mean, if you were 180,
Mm-mm,
you be huge.
mm-mm.
Oh dang, did I say that? Oh sorry. This interview. Oh snap. Okay. Dang it. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Hey, PG-13. Sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. So wait, yeah, that was the last. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this girl's a fighter, and guys, this got to be the last one. Okay, and this is
Okay.
from the War Machine, Brittany Neiman. You can see it. Well, you can't see it. She says, "How do you deal with the adrenaline rush and nerves?" Oh man, this is a good question.
So, my first fight ever, I got in the ring, and after the first round, I'm like, I'm so tired. Why am I so tired? And it was an adrenaline dump. And so what I did is I did some research on what is an adrenaline dump and how can I maintain that. So the whole thing behind that, and for me, that works for me best, is not getting overly excited. Not getting overly excited when I'm walking out. Calm, breathing, keeping my heart rate low. Not getting overly excited when I get into the ring. Calm. As soon as I start fighting, remember to breathe. Remember my breathing. Remember to keep my breathing calm and not erratic, not to get emotional. I think that has helped me the most, not getting emotional, remembering to breathe, remembering to stay relaxed and not tense up, especially in that first round when you just want to get in there and just, I want to go at it. So a lot of breathing has helped me. A lot of mental visualization. I do a lot of visualization, and some can call it mediation or meditation, but I visualize. I visualize the entire walk up. I visualize, getting pat down. I visualize walking into the cage and being in the cage. I visualize first, second, third round, and the end of the round, all the time on my downtime myself. And when I feel my heart rate getting up, I'm like, calm it down, calm it down, calm it down. And that kind of has helped me. So I would say, you need to visualize. And a lot of sports psychologists will say the same thing, but visualize what you're doing, visualize what you want to be, visualize how you want to remain calm, but still effective and sharp and have your timing on point. And then remember to breathe. That's the simplest thing that we could do. But how many times have we told a fighter, breathe, breathe? You know what I mean? Especially during a round or when they're doing pads, get your breathing down, get your breathing down. You get it down there and you're going to be fine in the cage.
Wow. Brittany, just breathe. Whoosha. Whoosha. No, I said I wasn't gonna make you
And
laugh today, brother.
visualize. That's so important, because even during visualization, I can feel myself getting anxious. I can feel myself getting excited. And then I'm like, no, calm down. See the same scenario with a calmer approach.
Wow. Guys, the same scenario with a calmer approach. Breathe and visualize. That need to be a three-step process for y'all if that's what you're trying to get your goal achieved. Breathe, visualize. Oh, I said it wrong. And process. God dog, boy, that's beautiful. Brittany, she answered your question, and she said she's soaking it all in. She's actually she's still in the amateurs
Hmm.
right now, and she's actually been on here a few times interviewing, and like it was crazy. Cause I was like, man, this kid can fight. This kid, her name is the War Machine Brittany Neiman. I'm like, this kid can fight. She got some skills. Definitely up and coming. But I guess she's gonna be waiting until they make the atom weight division. So,
Ooh, she's tiny. I'll be watching out for her.
oh,
And
Brittany,
Victor's got some atom weights.
yeah,
Victor, Combat Americas has some atom weights. Atom weights. They're like 105, right?
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Go get it, girl.
I don't think you'll be going down to 105 no time soon, will you?
Woo, that's in one leg. 105 in one leg.
Well, Mari, I really honestly appreciate the time. I know you got, I know you just, I'm glad. I'm glad you just decided to just, do an interview with me. I'm always ecstatic. I hope I said that
I'm
right.
always ecstatic when you ask me. I'm like, I'm waiting. Mana's like, are you gonna hit him up? I'm like, when he's ready, he'll hit me up. I'm waiting. I'm
Oh,
waiting.
nah, nah. You don't never have to hit me up. I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up with everything. So, I hit you up sometimes. I just, honestly, it's, I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? I mean, I'll do it because I just want to know how you doing. That's it. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I try to do it in between fights. So, cause I don't like being phony. I just like people. We people person. We teachers.
Yes.
That's how we are. Well, Mario, do you have any closing thoughts on this show? I always give whoever is here with me their closing thoughts on everything or whatever they want.
If I had to express one closing thought, especially with the way things are going in this world today, in a more global expansion, it's let's learn to be nice to the people that we don't know or don't agree with. Let's learn to accept. I can't preach tolerance enough. You have to have tolerance. So if there's anything that I can send out to everybody, it's let's be tolerant of one another. Let's be tolerant, and let's just be good people. Stop being trolls. Stop being haters. Let's say hi to the person, our neighbor. Say hi to the person in line behind us. Say hi to the cashier. Let's just be better people.
Guys, just be better people. Be better people.
I'm sad. I'm
Yes.
sad when I look on the news and I see everything going on. It's just like, gosh, where did we go wrong? What can we do to fix this? And one person's not going to do it. It has to be global. It has to be everybody working together. Mhm.
And no division. No division. Can't be no division.
No.
I'm with it. I'm with it, man. Everybody telling you to preach, Marion. Everybody wisdom, Reneau, a lady warrior and a queen. Smash the like button. Yeah, smash it so everybody can see Marion Reneau do her thing. Guys, Marion, I really enjoy it. You're a true ambassador to the sport. You're definitely a good representation of how the women should be conducting themselves in and outside the octagon, doing press, after the fights and before fights, everything. You're a great ambassador to that. So, I'm thankful in this life to have met you and honestly to talk to you.
I appreciate it, Coach. I enjoy talking to you as well. I like over the years watching you grow, your YouTube channel grow. I love it. You're like 6,000 plus followers. I'm like, woo! I remember when he was like 300, 600. Y'all don't remember that. I remember that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
congratulations, Coach. And I appreciate talking to you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a couple more weeks of training, and then I will see you on the 14th.
Okay, guys. July 14th, and that's you're on the undercard, and that's the undercard starts at 8 p.m. right?
Correct.
Guys, July 14th, 8 p.m. Marion Reneau versus Kat Zingano, guys. Be there. Don't be cheap. Come out of your pockets and watch the Belizean Bruiser do what she does best. That's win. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison on behalf of Marion Reneau. I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.